It's showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
And a fine Saturday morning to you.
It is fine unless you are running from
Penguins.
the sweet, sweet release of death. How's your evening? Morning. I mean,
bright and shiny.
What do you think of this New Mutants thing?
The fact that the movie exists, or the issues with its delay?
I legitimately was done. Like, I was crushed by where it was going, and then I moved on with my life, and I was fine. Then there was the buyout, and everything happened, and the movie was lost in the annals of history, and I was totally okay with that. I mean,
when has a movie been lost to the annals of history, other than like the clown cried or whatever, the Jerry Lewis movie? You know, I mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can speak in code all you want. But what I'm saying is I was emotionally ready to let go of the movie. Right? Like, I thought this is going to be so bad that I'm emotionally ready to let, even though, if you remember, some years ago now, I was very excited about this movie.
Yes.
And I wasn't, and I was stopped being excited about it. Now it's apparently back. They've worked it out. Do you have opinions?
I don't know. I don't know if I do. I mean, you know, I am interested to see it. You know, I'll probably watch it eventually. I didn't think it looked that bad when I saw the trailer initially, and I don't understand. I mean, maybe maybe it's as bad as Dark Phoenix. I'm saying that as somebody who hasn't seen it. I can't speak as somebody who has seen it and thinks everyone is wrong. But in general, it wasn't well received. Maybe this is going to be along that same lines. I don't know. I just don't know.
All right. Well, speaking of movies and creative challenges, did you hear this? That Scott Derrickson is now off of Doctor Strange 2 because of creative differences. Surprising no one, I think. Makes me sad. Feels like we've finished the Infinity Saga and we're going into, once again, creative news of creative differences and directors who are moving on.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
you don't get worked up about this. You just don't care. What do you get worked up about? It's
frustrating. I really liked what he did with Doctor Strange, and he had said that the next one is going to be more in lines of a horror movie, and that was thrilling. I mean, Scott Derrickson is from that world, having done the Sinister films, and you know, the stuff like The Exorcism of Emily Rose and Deliver Us from Evil. So, I mean, he's in that world. I don't know. I feel like it was an obvious direction to go, and you know, I don't know. I'm not sure. It sounds like it was a mutual thing, but still, it's a little frustrating that he's stepping back to just EP role. Which really, when that happens these days, it just sounds more like, you know, we're taking off the project. We'll give you an EP role, so you're still going to have some decent salary, and you don't say anything bad about it.
Yes, please, for the love of everything, don't say anything bad about us.
What these things reek of nowadays. So, and if that's the case, sign me up to be an EP. I'll take your money and not say anything bad about your movie.
Yes,
I could use a few cool million.
So good at keeping my mouth straight shut. That was frustrating, but they say, as reported by MovieWeb, that it is amicable. And in fact, Scott Derrickson said on Twitter, Marvel and I have mutually agreed to part ways on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness due to creative differences. I'm thankful for our collaboration and will remain on as EP, as you said. So that makes me very, very sad.
He's another one from the Denver area.
Yeah, right. He was practically our buddy.
Yeah.
The Robert Pattinson says, speaking of superheroes, why do you lead with that?
I don't know. Just creating tones here for the listeners. Oh yeah.
Well,
is that a better one?
I thought you may have noticed that I finally watched Joker.
I did notice that.
Yeah, and I think you and I've now read your review, and I think you and I, for the most part, agree.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel like I don't know. It's funny because I'm distant from my viewing of it. So right now I'm looking at what you're saying and I'm like, gosh, he's so negative on it.
He's so negative on it. I found myself. It's one of those movies I took a little bit personally, and then it's over, and I just don't. It is a movie that doesn't excite me. I don't know, it doesn't give me any emotional response at all. It doesn't make me angry. It doesn't make me very excited. I'm frustrated a little bit, or at least I was as I was watching it, that this is not what I wanted on the tin. I was hoping for more. Honestly, what I was thinking most of the time I'm watching it is, God, I hope Andy's not right. And then the next scene would come by and I'd be like, Todd Phillips. Oh, man, Andy was right. I feel like that is what I need to say to you, and that's what I need to get out on the show. You were right. I understand, and I was not a huge fan. And also, Joaquin Phoenix was great, but it was wildly overhyped and was not as intense or scary or violent as I thought it was, and super predictable. So I'm sad about that. I am open to reinterpreting the movie. I'm open to influence because I'm not very emotional about the movie at all. The most important thing is that Robert Pattinson says that The Batman is the right next comic book movie. For him, he thinks it's really important. And since we all know how important Robert Pattinson's opinion is on such things, I wanted to bring that up with you. There is something that has always appealed to me about it. He says, I feel like it sort of exists outside the realm of this sort of blockbuster. Batman movies have always attracted really good directors and had really good actors playing in it. It sounds a little bit like something from Zoolander would be saying.
It does.
It's got a legacy and a lineage to it. They're really, really, really good. So Robert Zoolander Pattinson is a big fan of that, but they're actively shooting that in London, and I have to say I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to it now even more, having not been terribly keen on Joker. So
I'm going to start calling him ZooPat now.
That's his auteur name. He's,
oh my!
And we say that because we actually like ZooPat around these parts.
We do. Yes.
I don't know why he earned our lampoons just this evening. What do you have to talk about? Do you have anything interesting going on?
No, I don't have anything interesting going on. I will say, Letterboxd does their annual list of kind of end of year thoughts and everything, year in film, and it was very enjoyable. I don't know if you looked through the year in review 2019, but lots of good stuff on there. They do they take kind of everything that's been done on their site and break it down to the highest rated films, the most popular, the most obsessively rewatched films, most divisive. They do popular reviews, all sorts of stuff. It's a great time just kind of flipping through their very well put together website and looking at all of the things that they have on their list. Lots of good stuff in there. And have you heard, this is a film that made it onto several of their lists. It is a foreign film, and it made it, I just have to see where it landed. It made it onto, let me see if I can search for it. I don't think I can because it's just the image of the poster. Nope. It made it onto, the highest rated films. It made it onto highest rated international films. Highest, no, it's not on that one. But yeah, highest rated dramas. It's in a number of places. It is this Argentine film called La Flor. Are you familiar with this one?
No, you're all of the, at this, so far, all of these words seem like
they're new words to you. So it's a film called La Flor, directed by Mariano Llanas. And I'm probably pronouncing that wrong because, as we learned when we did our Ricardo Darín series, they have a funny way of pronouncing their Spanish down there.
We're wrong a lot.
Yes, it's probably Mariano Llanas or something like that. Anyway, La Flor.
I think it's Bob Hope.
Hey, that's exactly right. This film, La Flor, Pete, it is almost 10 years in production, 14 hours of film. 6 stories. Llanas uses the same 4 actresses in various ways. You heard that right. This is a 14-hour long film.
In a row? What? Are you? And that made it. Where? Pray tell, what list did that make it on?
Well, that's what I was saying. It made it onto
best of the year or most feverishly rewatched? Because I'd like to meet those people.
It's definitely not most obsessively rewatched. It did make it onto highest rated overall. It's number 7 on that list. It made it onto the highest rated international feature. It's number 3. Highest rated drama. It's number 6 on there. And I think that's it. Those are the top ones where I found it. So if I keep digging, but
I think this is amusing because it actually does note in a footnote. This is the first time I've actually opened the year in review. It's linked in the show notes. To be included, films must be narrative, except in the documentary category, feature length, plus La Fleur, because it's screened theatrically. Andy.
Yeah. Somebody.
What theaters are committing to this movie?
Not just what theaters, who is committing to go to that theater and sit in it for 14 hours to watch the movie. I can only imagine it comes with built-in breaks, which makes it like a 16-hour experience.
Oh my goodness.
I have no idea. That's a really long movie.
That is crazy.
And I know it's not, there are other very long films. But
each, it's like with these 6 stories in 14 hours. So each story is a feature length movie.
And that's why I'm not sure why we don't just break it into 6 movies.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Wow. I'm looking at the Letterboxd reviews of it right now. And some of the reviews are actually talking about the movie. The rest of them are saying, yeah, I did it. Took 3 days. Took me 17 days. Like really the marathon is the review.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
I mean, I'm really curious now. To me, it's like watching a miniseries. You're going to watch a 14-part miniseries or something, or in this case, a 6-part miniseries. And so it's definitely piqued my curiosity. I don't know. I couldn't do it in one sitting.
Yeah, I mean, you could also watch The Irishman 4 times. So tell me of that list. So if you look at like the top, their top overall rated movies, did you find that they agreed? What insights did you get out of them? Like, for example, did Uncut Gems hit your list at the same place it hit the year in review?
It definitely speaks to the fact that they are New Zealanders who do this, because films like Portrait of a Lady on Fire got a lot of placement on here, and I don't think that's had a release over here yet, or if it has, it's only been New York and LA. And so I know that they base all of this strictly on, as it says, all results are as of January 1st. 2020. So the fact that made it to the number 2 spot speaks to kind of the international viewing audiences that populate Letterboxd's site. So, Uncut Gems, I get it. I definitely get it. I don't think it's a bad movie. It just was,
it's not your movie.
It was not my movie. So, and that's fine. And other things like I've never even heard of An Elephant Sitting Still, or Invisible Life. And again, speaking to kind of the international world out there. And I think that's something I like about Letterboxd is it is from a different place. It's not centered out of LA. So because of that, it ends up feeling like we're seeing stuff on here that isn't necessarily just kind of all the basics.
Yeah, I know I've just already added a bunch to my list as we've been talking. Jallikattu, number 9 on the highest rated action. Dragged Across Concrete. Haven't seen that either. Shadow. Like, I feel like there are a bunch of movies on here. This is a great place to start if you want to catch up on some good films from outside the neighborhood.
Definitely. Yep.
Man, Parasite just dominates every one of these lists.
Yeah, well, and Bong Joon-ho was their the top filmmaker of the year, and I didn't listen to it, but I noticed at the very end there's a little thing that you can click on. Yeah, they have a little clip of Bong Joon-ho after they told him that Parasite was the highest rated film of the decade.
Oh, I love it.
There you go.
I love it. Have you seen Lighthouse yet?
No, I haven't. That's one that I missed, and its release is very soon, so I have it hopefully to see here in the coming weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I have not found a way to see it either. It's not showing up anywhere.
I'm in that zone right now where it's kind of award catch-up zone.
Yeah.
Trying to watch all the stuff that I've missed. I've added stuff to my my Netflix queue. So as soon as it arrives, I'll be able to check it out. So stuff like that. Rocket Man, I have here so that I can finally catch up on that. Chernobyl, the first disc will be arriving soon, so I can finally watch
Andy,
Chernobyl.
It's about time.
I know.
Given this is interesting, Dr. Sleep shows up at number 7 on the highest rated horror, and I find that interesting given my friends don't appear to agree.
Well, I agree with
you do.
I loved it.
Great. I haven't seen it. So that's interesting to me.
Yeah, I had a great time with it, and very much looking forward to the upcoming director's cut when it comes out. So it's a shame that it bombed at the box office, but I don't think Ewan McGregor has the solo actor box office draw to carry it. I don't think audiences were clamoring for a Shining sequel, and as good as it is, I just don't think people were asking for it, unfortunately. And because of that, not interested.
Most popular overall is actually a satisfying list for me. Curious about, with the exception of, I think, number 2 and 3, Joker and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I would push down a little bit. The rest is great. I love that Booksmart made the top 10, and Marriage Story and Midsommar. Those are all very satisfying. The rest are pretty predictable.
I have not seen Marriage Story. That's another one on my my list of award movies that I need to see pretty soon. So, but yeah, that is a good list, though. I wasn't as crazy about Us. I know it seems a lot of people really dug Us, and I thought it was fine, but it doesn't deserve the praise that it's getting, I don't think.
I agree, but I agree with you. I thought it was exactly what was on the tin, right? I mean, it didn't really surprise me. I don't feel like it elevated what had been done before. But I still enjoyed my time with it.
Sure.
There was some creepy,
there's
crawling.
Creepy moments.
There's really
for sure.
creepy crawling. Yeah,
what definitely was that?
And I did love anything in the lake. I was really satisfied with him in the lake. That was super fun.
Yeah, or in the house by the lake. I liked some of the stuff in that house. So
yeah, that was a cool house. That reminds me, I need a house like that. Without the haunting.
There was a category on here. I don't know if you noticed it yet, but it was like best houses, best movie houses of the year. House Party 2019 was the year of the memorable house. Parasite, The Last Black Man in San Francisco, Knives Out, Portrait of Lady on Fire, and The Lighthouse were all on that list. I thought that's funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This is great. You should look at this, everybody. Again, link in the show notes, year in review. It's very cool, and it is exhaustive. Holy cow. Look at it. Doesn't end the scroll.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff too.
I love the most popular reviews, popular favorable and unfavorable reviews.
Oh, yeah.
And I totally agree with all of them. I have read all these. They're great. Okay.
Well, you see, you got people on there like Demi Adejuyebe, who's we're familiar with. He's done some good stuff. They also have the Joshua Trank reviewed his own movie, Fantastic Four, on there, and that's a very popular one. And what a great treat to have him go in and do that. I thought that was fantastic. Yeah. I think it's a little misleading that somebody calls themselves Brad Pitt and they get their review of Midsommar on there.
But it's Brat Pitt.
Oh, you're right. It is Brad Pitt.
Yeah. And Brad Pitt actually writes great reviews. I definitely follow Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
And also
in your area,
Silent Dawn, whose review of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is fantastic. So anyway, there's some great reviews. Go look at it. I definitely need to dig into this. Fantastic.
Indeed. Lots of good stuff.
Indeed.
You can end up easily spending hours going through that and clicking on things and reading things.
Holy cow, it goes into dark mode, Andy.
I know.
That was cool.
Yeah. It's a beautifully designed, really beautifully designed.
Oh, the webpage is great.
Yeah, they go through all the best of 2019 and then they go to the best of the decade. Yeah. So.
Wow. And they even have this is the first time I've ever seen this. There's an intermission on the webpage. Part of the journey is the end, and part of the journey is the middle. Congrats, you made it to the halfway point. This is awesome. We love you 3000. This is my favorite page. I'm going to bookmark it and read it often.
Good stuff.
Shall we, do you want to talk trailers?
We should, yes. Let's talk trailers.
I'm going to go first because of what, can I do that? Can I just take it even though you posted first?
Sure.
Because I want,
you know what?
I want to just talk about mine quickly.
I feel like giving today. I'm a
you're
giver.
a giver.
Yes.
So my trailer, we've talked about the fact that the movie is coming. It is the Birds of Prey trailer. Trailer 2 dropped just, I'm going to say, seconds ago as we're recording this, hours maybe. And it is, I am pleased with it so far. Is that cautious enough praise for this trailer? After watching Joker, it is an exuberant exploration of color and violence, and I like that we learn a little bit more about building the team. I like what Cathy Ann has done with this visually. I think that she has a good flair for bringing this team of women together and showcasing what they hath wrought. It's the one-liners. It's a DC action trailer, and so you get all the one-liners and you get the action beats. You get the hard stop. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, okay, which is on brand, and Ewan McGregor as the bad guy. I feel like all of the pieces are together. I am primed to actually enjoy this movie and see it as an improvement over the theme that we got in Suicide Squad. And of course, Margot Robbie is actually looking better every time I see another trailer of her in this character. I think she's really, like, what a strange character to have somebody so, like, intimately embody as Harley Quinn. I wouldn't have thought that this was a character that we would get quite such a universe exploration of in the series, but Margot Robbie is just perfect for it, and so I'm kind of getting more and more excited about this one.
I hope I'm getting excited for it. I struggle with the DC trailers. I feel like I want to be excited for this one because I think it could be really unique. I do like Margot Robbie in the role. I think that she was a bright spot in Suicide Squad. I don't know enough about her or the characters or anyone in here to really have a sense of the story between them. I mean, it introduces them all in the trailer, Huntress and Black Canary and whoever else. I don't know who they are. That doesn't really mean much to me. So I really just have to kind of take it for what it is. And when I watch the trailer, I am torn because I'm like, okay, this is a really fun style. They're doing some fun stuff here, but I also feel like Margot Robbie did a lot of this in I, Tonya already. And
interesting.
And it always strikes, but I'm torn because I'm like, is this like, are they doing this just because she did I, Tonya and they were like, hey, let's take that kind of tone and bring it to this and we can really play around with it. It could be fun. I also feel like, they're trying to spice things up a little bit. And so they're reaching to that to try to give it something. And I hope it's a way to tell the story that ends up making it work and be a strong telling of the story, because it could be really interesting. I also feel
I have another perspective for you, Andy. What if Tonya Harding's spirit animal was Harley Quinn and Margot Robbie just happens to be able to play both of them exceptionally well? It could be just an accident. Like, not just we're letting Margot Robbie and what she does lead the way, but in fact, Tonya Harding was Harley Quinn.
It could be interesting. Maybe. I don't know. I do also have hope because the script is written by Christina Hodson, who wrote Bumblebee. And I really liked what she did with the twist on the Transformers film there. So maybe. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff going in the right direction here. And it gives me hope. I guess that's where I'll leave it. I want this film to kind of give me hope and be something that I think could really be a nice entry for the DC universe.
Man, do you see what they have her doing, though? They've got her writing the script for The Flash, Andy Muschietti's take on The Flash. They've got her writing, was that Batwoman or Batgirl, in addition to Birds of Prey, which obviously is coming. She's in the DC, she's on the DC shelf, let's say.
Well, she's a screenwriter. She is one of those blacklist screenwriters. I think she's had 3 scripts in there. So clearly somebody who is a writing talent that people have found and are tapping into. So that makes me excited. So
I like her.
Mm-hmm.
More movies from her. All right. So my trailer, it comes out February 7th in the US. And, pretty much you set your clocks by that. If you're in the rest of the world, it's going to come out probably a little bit before and a little bit after. And it starts in France February 5th. Grab your easy chairs and start the rollout for Birds of Prey.
Nice.
Now, can we talk about your trailer, please, sir, immediately?
My trailer, Pete. I almost don't know what to say with my trailer.
That is understandable.
It is a film that it's interesting. It's not a new film. I don't know if you realized that when you were looking it up, but it is a film from 2016.
Yes.
It is a film from the Netherlands, and it is finally getting a U.S. release, and it's about damn time is all I can say. The film is called Uncaged here in the U.S., although it was called Prey over there when it was released originally. It is directed by Dick Moss, and it is the story of a zoo veterinarian who gets caught up in a grisly adventure as she finds herself leading the citywide hunt for a monstrous lion terrorizing the Dutch capital of Amsterdam. Now, Pete, I have to believe that this trailer.
What do you have to believe, Andy? Really?
I have to believe that they are making a mistake by casting a whole cast of English speaking people to dub this film and to not release it in its native language, because it has to be better. Or does it? I don't know. People who don't typically watch the trailers when we do this segment really owe it to themselves to follow the link, watch the trailer for Uncaged, just to listen to the dubbing work that has been done here, because it is the most comical work I have seen in a film that I don't think it's supposed to be funny. I mean, it actually is billed as a comedy horror thriller, so maybe it is. But I think that the dubbing itself, the dubbing job, lends a whole new aspect of comedy that I don't think that Dick Moss had initially intended there to be. I could be wrong. Maybe maybe it's meta and he's kind of taking it one extra step, and it's taken him 3 years to really develop this fine-tuned dubbing job to kind of break into the US. I don't know. But anyway, Uncaged, lion running in the streets. It has lions running through the subway train. It's got stuff that could be fun and gruesome.
It does.
I don't know.
I feel like the pitch meeting for this is, okay, we're going to remake Jaws, but I want you to picture Jaws with no water. And instead of a shark, it's a lion. And instead of the ocean, it's a city. It's going to be great. And they're all thinking how great it is until they start shooting, when they realize that what they're actually making is not a horror thriller, but a comedy horror thriller. And I hope to God they just lean into that, because this could be land sharktastic. I can't wait.
Well, I'm very excited. It's like Gator, right? Like,
yes. Yeah.
From
or Crawl.
No, it wasn't. Not Gator. What was it? Was it just Alligator? Is that the one with the 19?
Was it the one with the toilet?
Yeah, where
they flush the little thing down the toilet and it comes up in the sewer. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
no, I'm all in.
That terrified me. Louis Teague did that. He did Cujo.
Yeah.
I loved that. This is the one with the swimming pool with the birthday party. And I had nightmares forever because of that.
Ever. Yeah. Maybe tonight.
Maybe I'll have them all over again. Yes.
Right. Yeah, it is it's not, it looks funny. You should watch the trailer, and that is all we should say. When can we see it finally?
This is finally going to be streaming here in the US. It looks like sometime this spring is what it's going to be billed as. It looks like March. So people will be able to finally watch it, and we can finally do our series on focus on this film.
I think we should do that. We should at least do some sort of watch party. We got to find a way to do a watch party.
Yeah. It is a very intense looking lion, I'll say.
Yeah. Scary. Mm-hmm. Close up on the hand.
You know what movie really worked for me? The Ghost in the Darkness. This is like The Ghost in the Darkness too, bringing it back home. I think that's what they should have just...
Lion Boogaloo.
They should have...
That's what bringing it back home.
Should have titled it that.
Oh, dear. All right. Let's move on. What do you want to do now?
We should do our lists.
Yeah.
It's time. We are doing, let's see. This week, what did we talk about? Silver Streak. The train movie. Yes.
Yeesh.
What a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. And,
very fun movie, part of our Colin Higgins series.
Right. And we threw our options to the folks over on Discord in the Show Talk channel, and they voted that they wanted us to talk about Movie Bruisers this week. So Movie Bruisers, I guess we're going to chat about this. Did you have any rules for yourself as you put together your Movie Bruisers list?
Well, I did, I guess. So here's my question that I struggled with, because I think we have talked about this on another list, which is great movie henchmen.
Yes.
That just sounds really familiar. So in your mind, what is the difference, or is there a difference between a henchman and like a bruiser?
Yes. And I struggled with that because I wanted to really try to delineate that, because I was like, a henchman, they could potentially be more intelligent. They may use other means. I tried sticking with people that I think largely are known more for their body size, perhaps, and less for their smarts.
For me, the line was like, I kept thinking about, okay, so a henchman, I might say, Igor is kind of a henchman, right?
Yeah.
But Igor is not a bruiser. So for me, the line became pretty quickly, they have to get in a fight. Like, they have to be a unique character. So like, it can't be a stormtrooper because there are so many of them. But they also have to be in a fight somehow, like Richard Kiel in our movie for the week.
Right.
So I would say the German mechanic in Raiders of the Lost Ark absolutely fits. Todd does not, played by Ronald Lacey in the same movie. Okay, so because he doesn't get in a fight.
Yeah.
He is more of a henchman. Okay.
I think
that is where I drew the line.
Okay. Right. And I largely was trying to pick ones that weren't just like German mechanic. You know, I was trying to pick ones that were a little bigger, at least to the point where they might have had a name.
Yes, they have to have had a name. I agree. I did put that on my list. German mechanic was just an example.
No, it's a good example, though. Okay, so first up for me then, this is one that I suppose should come as no surprise, because I feel, I can't remember how recently it was that I just put one of these films on my list, but it was pretty recent. This one is on my list because it's the movie works really well, and as the really tough guy who is kind of the hand of the bad guy, I think he works really well. It is Lurtz from The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, the the Uruk-hai and, in all of his disgusting glory. And it's the film where you get to kind of watch him get born, and it's pretty gross. So,
yep.
That's my first one.
That is a great one. And it was on my backup list. Did not make my final list. Thank goodness. I will not relinquish the seal.
All right.
All right. So for my first pick, this was a hard one because we've talked about so many movies with fantastic, like thugs, right? Movie henchmen already. Yeah. So, for example, we're not talking. I'm not including Raiders of the Lost Ark, right there, and the entire series. We have opportunities for thugs and goons and things. So, I'm not talking about any of those. I would like to go to the John Woo. To his final great Hong Kong action film, Hard Boiled. And the character is Mad Dog, played by Philip Kwok. And Mad Dog is involved in just about every fight in that movie, leading up to the final hospital fight shootout, which is extraordinary as he... and his entrance is just impeccable by now. He's bloodied and still tough as nails. And so it is absolutely worth seeing. If you haven't seen Hard Boiled, look out for Mad Dog and Philip Kwok.
Well, I would like to take your Mad Dog and raise you a Mad Dog.
Oh, you're doing that. Okay. Yeah.
I am doing that.
That's good.
I am jumping to The Raid. This is Yayan Ruhian as Mad Dog, who is the muscle behind Tama's business in the building here. And, these people are known to get into some fisticuffs from time to time, as ones who have seen the Raid films can attest. Yeah. It is pretty fantastic to watch. And Mad Dog is named Mad Dog for, a great reason. It does a fantastic job and is one of those fighters that I think just makes all of the stuff in these Raid films just so much fun to watch. I love watching them, and the fighting is just nuts. So that's my second choice.
Oh, that's so good. That is so good, and that makes me. I wish I had gone first a little bit. So I will take that, and I will go to. Oh man, how about this? Let's go to Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
I knew when I started that somebody from a Quentin Tarantino film is going to be going on this on my list. And in this case, I went with Kill Bill, Volume 1. Lots to choose from. The challenge is that so many of these are like levels, like bosses to defeat.
Right.
And that is what I've got with this one. But she does have a name, and she is iconic. I'm talking about Gogo Yubari with the gravity hammer and the big fight in Kill Bill Volume 1. Gogo is played by Chiaki Kuriyama, and it is a fantastic fight scene. She's just really, really mean and hateful, and it's that iconic, like, hypersexualized schoolgirl violence that the Japanese really have the corner on that. And this movie is Quentin Tarantino's homage to essentially Battle Royale with effectively the same character.
Yeah.
So
nice.
There you go.
For my final pick, I'm going with one that I think it's fair to call a movie bruiser. It definitely is big and dumb.
Tangled.
And works with the villain. However, the character is also always at odds with himself, and actually has a little devil and angel sitting on his shoulder trying to tell him what to do. And he can speak to squirrels, and he loves to cook. It is, of course, Kronk in The Emperor's New Groove. And I can't say specifically if he gets into a fight with anybody, but I feel like he probably has. And so I feel like it's okay to still call him a movie bruiser, because for me, he fits the bill, even if it's not quite perfect. But that's my final choice, The Emperor's New Groove with Kronk.
Wow. All right. I'll give it to you. I know you don't play to numbers, but I do. And the fact that that's in your number one spot delights me on some kind of childish level.
I was playing that one for my number one spot.
Okay.
Totally was.
Good. For my final pick, I'm going with, pretty much this one, as you can tell, what's on my mind right now after Rise of Skywalker and all of the discussion about Star Wars. And then I finished The Mandalorian, and I'm really digging what they're doing with that character. And I thought, wait a minute. I got a unique character. I got an iconic performance. I got an incredible character design. And he gets in a big fight. And that is Boba Fett in The Empire Strikes Back and the Return of the Jedi, played by Jeremy Bulloch and Jason Wingreen for the voice. Boba Fett.
Nice.
Number one.
Nice.
I don't think I've ever dropped.
Which specific film are you
Star Wars
putting him?
Well, I have to go with the Return of the Jedi because that's where the big
fisticuffs
fight.
Really happen.
That's the fisticuffs, right?
Even though he kind of falls apart there. Ends up getting digested, but still.
We don't speak of it. We don't speak of it because I think Kathleen Kennedy's going to bring him back. He's going to be exhumed.
He's going to come out of digestion.
Yeah,
I think in one of the books he did actually crawl out.
Yeah, I think I've heard that. I think that's in canon.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think it's in canon, but
it's in canon.
They'll make it in canon.
Did you have any good backup tasks?
Well, I did have Jaws on here as a backup from The Spy Who Loved Me, just in case. But the fact that Richard Kiel was the one who gave us this list, I was like, is it an homage to put him on there, or is it kind of, should I not be doing that? So I was kind of torn. I didn't put him, and then my last other alternate was Alpha from Up.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, that's a natural pick. I'm actually surprised you didn't go with Alpha over Kronk.
Oh, no. I vastly prefer Emperor's New Groove. I'm one of those people.
You're a unicorn. That's all right. I get it. My backup Bond pick was Odd Job.
Sure.
From Goldfinger, played by Harold Sakata. And the backup of Odd Job was, because I was worried that you were going to get Odd Job, and because of the Richard Kiel thing, I was trying to chess you a little bit. And so I thought if you got Odd Job, then I would absolutely play Random Task from Austin Powers, played by Joe Sun.
Nice.
So,
but then I go and I play Emperor's New Groove and I win the game with that. So
you did win the game with Emperor's New Groove. Only because you went first. I think Boba Fett would have closed it out. I feel pretty strongly about that. What are we doing this next week?
Well, let's see. Foul Play is the movie, so we have more Hitchcock homages. So we could do Hitchcock homages because that is a big thing in that film.
That's fun.
Yeah, we could do that. I think there are enough other people who have done Hitchcock homages. So, I say
good luck trying to type that in Discord.
Well, apparently you and I are able to.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, we're allowed to type pseudo swear words.
Yeah, but apparently everyone else cannot type Hitchcock because it's considered a foul language. It's ridiculous.
No, but nobody can say hitch. So, okay, so that's number one. I like that.
Okay, we've got a lot of tropes, so many tropes. What would be fun is a recurring a bit recurring character who pops in throughout the film. Oh,
the Arthur character. What's his name?
Yeah,
Dudley Moore, my favorite.
Right, yeah.
The recurring bit character.
What other homages? Gosh, there's so many. Let's see. We have old people kung fu.
Yeah, we could old people in kung fu. I was thinking we could do something about the faces in the mirror, or like jump scares in mirrors kind of thing, or something that leverages the thriller aspect, like from in her apartment.
Snakes.
Or Andy, what if we do dated and offensive comedy tropes that couldn't be made today?
That'd be a fun list.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do car chases with crazy vehicles.
Okay.
Is that too difficult?
Well, it might be too difficult, but I'm just trying to measure that against your last suggestion, and it hasn't won me over.
Yeah.
I liked your first one better.
Well, let's think. What else could we do? There are, there are a lot of the thriller tropes, like you said.
Yeah.
But I feel like we'd need to pinpoint specific one.
I don't even actually remember now that we're talking about it. What were the tropes that we talked about?
Well, there's the dead bodies that get cleaned up. There's the evil albino. There's the
mistaken identity stuff. The trying to sow the gaslighting the protagonist.
Oh, there's the whole thing with the MacGuffin of the evidence. That he plants on her. We could do something where here's something: innocent people who get into a situation because somebody plants evidence on them.
The planted evidence MacGuffin.
Yeah, I don't know.
Would that be a fair way to shorten it?
Yeah. Might be a tough one, but
I think it's hard to search for, but I think we could do it.
Well, I've got one in my head already.
All right, so you're 1/3 ahead of me.
But I don't know. Gosh, yeah, that is a tricky one.
Yeah,
it's like but you know what I mean. Like somebody slips something into somebody's purse or something like that.
I think we do it. I think we do it.
Okay, we'll put it on there. And
planted evidence.
I think we may need to broaden it to things like, they, put down their briefcase and they pick up their briefcase, but it happens to be the other person's briefcase, but they just look the same and no one realized
the briefcase swap.
Yeah, it could fall into like that territory where they, an innocent person ends up with evidence. And
my challenge here is because it is such a subtle thing. I feel like I'm going to have to watch a lot of movies, like at least the first act of a lot of movies to get this. Yeah. But I think we can do it.
All right, we can do it. We can make this happen.
All right.
So that's the poll. All right. We'll get that up in the Show Talk channel over in our Discord group, everybody. So get your votes in there. Of course, to do that, you need to become a Patreon supporter. And it's just $3 a month to get to that level where you can cast your votes over in the Show Talk channel.
I don't think it is. I think it's $5.
I don't know the prices of any of this. And I feel like you change it every week on me just so I say it wrong.
I don't. I haven't done that in a long time, but I do enjoy saying you're wrong. So, however you want to look at this.
That's really what it's all about, right?
But we do invite you to join us on Patreon. And speaking of tropes, for about the cost of a cup of coffee, you can join us in our community. You can join us in our fantastic Next Reel community and have fantastic and wonderful and stupendous conversations with us online. You can get access to the live stream of this show and all of the Next Reel shows. And you can sleep better knowing that you are supporting the universe of independent podcasters. And we deeply appreciate it. You're literally helping us put food on the table. So we appreciate you. Thank you.
I hope you have some good music to play behind that. Yeesh.
I did. Well, I don't know. Have you listened to our Foul Play episode?
Right. Oh, dear.
Good times.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Are we going to do some ranking? We're not going to rank Saturday, are we?
Well, we skipped it. I thought you skipped it.
No, we went all out of order. We can just totally skip it, though. I'm fine.
Let's skip it.
All right. Skipped.
All right.
That's it. Have a good night.
Don't forget to call your mother.